Hi, welcome back to my channel. One of the first concepts I was introduced to when I became interested in functional binocular vision and behavioural optometry was Skeffington's four circles model of vision. I found it fascinating and I thought you might too. A.M. Skeffington was an American optometrist who practiced all through the middle of the 20th century. I had to look up what the AM stood for, as until I made this video I only knew him as A.M. Skeffington. But his first names were, in fact, Arthur Martin, and this is him here. He was an American optometrist and was one of the most influential figures in our profession in the 20th century. He almost single-handedly helped shape the idea that vision is more than simply seeing small letters clearly on an eye test chart. Before Skeffington came along, optometry was largely concerned with measuring eyesight, prescribing glasses, and correcting refractive errors such as short-sightedness and long-sightedness. Skeffington looked at some of the problems his patients were having and thought, this is too narrow a way of approaching things. He proposed that vision should be understood as a dynamic, multi-system process involving the eyes, brain, body, movement, attention, and learning. Put simply, he noted that the purpose of vision was not simply to produce a clear retinal image for its own sake. The purpose of vision was to allow a person to interact effectively with their environment. It's obvious when you think about it now, but this was quite revolutionary at the time. This philosophy became the foundation of what later became known variously as behavioural optometry, neurodevelopmental optometry, or functional optometry. So Skeffington came up with his four circles. These are not a scientific model in the modern neuroscientific sense. They're more a conceptual framework, a way of thinking about vision as something that evolved to help us interact with the world rather than simply to see clearly. He argued that vision develops because humans need to answer four fundamental questions. Where am I? Where is it? What is it? And what should I do about it? He represented these questions as four overlapping circles that look like a Venn diagram, and right in the centre, where these four circles overlap, that's where vision emerges. So, taking each of these circles in turn. Number one is the where am I circle, which Skeffington called anti-gravity, because it relates to posture, balance, movement, and awareness of the body in space. If you watched my videos about how vision develops in babies and toddlers, you might remember that a baby has to learn which way is up, how to hold their head up, how to sit, crawl, stand, and walk, where their body is in relation to the world. We refer to these skills as balance systems, vestibular function, proprioception, and postural control. In other words, before you can know where something else is, you need to have some idea of where you are. If you haven't watched the videos, I'll put a link in the description below. Circle number two is the where is it circle, which Skeffington named centering, because this circle is all about directing attention and aligning the eyes towards something important. Imagine hearing your name called in a crowded room. You turn your head and move your eyes to focus on the person calling you. You quite literally locate them and make them the centre of your attention. Centering can include watching a tennis ball coming towards you, finding a word or phrase on a page, or locating a roadside while driving. This circle encompasses eye movements, eye teaming, attention, and visual orientation. So onto circle number three, the what is it circle, which Skeffington named identification. Once you've located something, you need to know what it is. A friend, a stranger, a football, a bear. Identification involves recognizing and interpreting what we see. So object recognition, face recognition, reading, visual memory, and the ability to make meaning from our observations. This circle is all about visual perception and cognition. The final circle, circle number four, is the what do I do about it, or what does it mean to me circle. And Skeffington named this circle speech auditory process. Humans are unique as far as we know because we attach language to experience. When a child sees a furry, four-legged animal and learns the word dog, they begin linking visual experience with language and thought. This circle encompasses language, communication, learning, abstract thinking, and symbol processing. Reading is a good example. A word on a page is simply a pattern of black marks. Its meaning comes from our language system, whichever one we use, the Chinese language or the Russian language being very different to English. So, what about the bit in the middle, where the circles all overlap? Skeffington proposed that this was where vision emerged. Not simply seeing, but knowing where you are, knowing where something else is, recognizing what it is, and understanding what it means to you, all at the same time. So how does this work in a real-life situation? Imagine driving a car. Circle 1, anti-gravity. You have to maintain posture and position behind the steering wheel. Circle 2, centering. You need to locate and pay attention to the edges of the road signs and other vehicles. Circle 3, identification. You need to recognize what those objects are. Is that a police car, or an ambulance, or a bicycle? Circle 4, speech auditory. You need to interpret symbols, 30 miles an hour, directions, turn next right, and rules, no entry. Only when all 4 systems work together can driving occur smoothly. It's an elegant model of vision, and it encourages us clinicians to think beyond eyesight alone. So instead of asking only, can this child in my consulting room see those letters all the way over there clearly, we also ask, can they maintain attention? Can they coordinate their eyes efficiently? Can they move comfortably through space? And can they use their vision effectively for learning? The enduring value of Skeffington's 4 circles is not that they accurately map onto specific brain structures. Rather, they remind us that vision is not something that happens only in the eyes. Vision depends on the interaction of movement, attention, perception, cognition, and language. With the advent of MRI scans and modern technology, neuroscience and neuroophthalmology describe and map the visual system far more precisely. But I still find Skeffington's model useful and rather beautiful because it captures an important truth. Vision is not just about clarity, it's about using the information our eyes send to our brains effectively to allow us to understand and interact with our world. I hope you found this video interesting. If you'd like to know more about how we see with our brains, please click like and subscribe to my channel. Bye for now.